Welcome to Team Senior Planet's 30-minute yoga class. This will be a blend of seated and standing exercises, which you can choose to take either in the seat or on a mat. It's totally your choice, whatever you feel most comfortable with. To begin, we'll start seated in your chair, sitting tall. So relax the shoulders, find the feet directly underneath the knees. So notice that your shin is one straight line. Allow the knees to also be in line with one another. So almost imagining that there's maybe a piece of wood or a piece of glass right in front of the knees, so you're not sending one hip forward and one hip back. So just check in with yourself. Find that the legs and the lower half of the body is in alignment with one another. Your hands can either be held in your lap comfortably, maybe down by the legs. Again, it's your choice. Lift tall through the spine, so almost imagining energy from the very base of your spine coming up through the center back and then finally out through the top of the head. Let your shoulders relax. Let your chin slightly tuck towards your chest to lengthen the back of the neck, and then think about the top of the head extending towards the sky. And we'll begin with just a few moments of meditation. So if it feels comfortable in the body, you can fully close the eyes, or if you'd rather, keep a soft gaze down by the floor. And as you're here, as you're settling in, allow the eyebrows and the forehead to relax. Sometimes we hold tension in those spaces and aren't really aware of it because it's so ingrained in us, it becomes a habit. So just think about softening those spaces, allowing the facial muscles to relax. Notice the tongue in your mouth, allow that to relax too. And then notice any other areas that might feel a little tense or maybe tight, maybe they're holding stress, and allow your breath to help you relax those spaces in the body. So come to your comfortable seat, and again, eyes closed or soft gaze. And once you're there, begin to focus on your breath. So begin to notice the inhale and the exhale being full and consistent. And notice your breath expanding through the whole body. So sometimes we tend to keep the breath a little bit shallower throughout the day as we're doing different things. But here, while you're sitting in your chair and you're preparing to move, allow the breath to be really full. So whatever that means to you, just allow the breath to expand through the whole body. And as you continue to breathe and use your breath, allow your mind to let go of any thoughts that might feel distracting or that continue to pop into the mind. Think about withdrawing your senses. So just take a moment to notice the clothing on your skin, notice the feet to the floor, notice if there's any sounds around you, notice if there's any smells in the room or in the space that you are in, and then begin to let all of that go. So notice what's on the outside of your awareness. Feel yourself beginning to come away from that. Allow yourself to bring all of your awareness and your attention inward. So begin to notice your own internal process, letting go of anything that might be outside of you, and allow that to guide your meditation practice. So understand that it's challenging to do this. You might find that you have your attention being pulled away by noise or thoughts, and that's okay. Just practice coming back to the breath. That's all that it takes, is just the practice of coming back. So we'll take about a moment or so to continue to follow the breath and to continue to focus on our inner world. On your next exhale, begin to open the eyes, and then just take a moment to be aware of the muscles throughout the body. Notice if there's any areas that maybe are feeling a little bit tense or uncomfortable, and then allow yourself to use this information that your body is communicating with you, and use that to guide your practice. So consider what spaces or what movements you might like to modify throughout the practice, and then think about what areas you might like to expand on. So maybe if you find that you are having a lot of energy in your body, you feel very awake, you can modify for a more challenging option. Or if the opposite is true, if you're feeling maybe a little bit tired or a little bit lower energy, you're welcome to modify in that sense as well. So anything that you need to do, really know that you are your own best teacher in this yoga practice. So anything that you'd like to do to modify is perfectly acceptable. From here, begin to widen your legs just a little bit wider than hips width distance apart. So first, just take a moment to notice the knees in line with the hips in this beginning position, and then step each foot out just a little bit wider. So your knees are angled a little bit away from your hips. Your hands will come to the tops of the thighs. The center of the palm will gently, gently press into the leg, and the fingers will draw inward. And press your feet into the floor. Stabilize your hips on your chair. So if you feel that maybe you will rock left and right or forward and backwards and it doesn't quite feel stable, just adjust as you need to. With keeping the hands on the legs, begin to lift up the heart towards the sky. So almost coming into a little bit of a back bend here, keeping the soles of the feet pressed firmly into the floor. And then open the heart as you take an inhale. And then as you exhale, begin to bring the belly button towards the back, round the spine, shoulders come by the earlobes. And then inhale to open, expand through the heart. And then exhale, round the spine. And just continue in this pattern, moving through the back body. And use your breath. So think about transitioning on an inhale or an exhale. And allow the breath to expand through the body as you continue to move. And of course, go at your own pace. So if you find that it better serves you to go slower today, that's fine. But also notice if your body is wanting to move a little bit faster. And just honor whatever it is that you are feeling. We'll take one more set. Exhale to round. Inhale to expand. And then come back to center. So take a moment just to be aware of the difference between sitting tall through center and then finding this back bend here. So allow the chest to open, the shoulders draw back, and then as you exhale, the spine lengthens. So think about being right up against the wall, or maybe even using the back of your chair as a guide, but feeling the upper body lengthen towards the sky. And then from here, we'll keep the legs in the same position. So legs are just a bit wider than hips width distance apart. Hands remain with the palms down on tops of the thighs, with the fingertips drawing inward towards one another. And we'll find a circular motion with the upper body. So think about leading with your rib cage. So sometimes it might be tempting to fully lift one hip off of the chair as you come into one direction, but think about firmly planting your hip bones, where your butt would be, your butt bones right on the chair, and finding the rib cage over the hips. Isolate your rib cage and begin to make circles here. So as you do that, think about hitting each spot of a circle or an oval shape that you are creating with your center body. And again, use your breath. Notice this movement. Notice your hips as well. So sometimes it's, again, tempting to lift the hips off of the chair, but try and avoid that. And keep the shoulders relaxed. Take one more in this direction and then begin to reverse. So if you were going maybe clockwise, think about going counterclockwise. And again, use the rib cage. The hands are here to support the upper body and the feet are supporting the lower body. And think about maybe stirring a large pot here, or maybe scraping out a peanut butter jar. And use the breath. Take one more in this direction and then make your way back up to center. Relax the shoulders. And then from this space, we'll think about going forward and back with the spine. So once again, find that long spine. Hands support the upper body by the tops of the legs and the knees stack over the feet. Use the soles of the feet to help stabilize the lower half of the body. Sit up tall, lead with your heart. Bring the chest forward at about halfway down. Lower the head, neck, shoulders. Find surrender through the upper body, and then use the breath to lift all the way back up. Perhaps find a bit of a back bend here. So maybe complete the movement by opening the heart to the sky, and then continue in that same pattern. Follow your breath. Again, making sure that the hips are stable in your chair so you don't slide off or feel that you might topple over. But just use your breath and find this movement through the spine. Just relax the shoulders. We'll take about 2 more full movements. And again, maybe move faster, maybe move slower. It's your choice. Last one here. Let the crown of the head come all the way back up to the sky. Again, sit up tall and then draw your feet back towards one another. So once again, the knees will stack directly over the feet. From here, we'll find something that's called an eagle pose, but we'll do it seated. And then if you'd like, you can take it standing later on in the class. But with the feet flat to the floor, we'll start by extending our arms to a T position and really reach the fingers away from one another, just as though you were going to touch the left wall and the right wall. With an open chest here, bring your right elbow to cross over the left. So feel the shoulder blades opening through the back and make sure that the elbows are right in line with the heart. The forearms will press together and the backs of the palms can either press together or you can interlace the wrists, bringing the centers of the palms towards one another. Elbows lift towards heart center. From here, you can stay here with just the arm position, or if you'd like a little bit more, you can take the right knee to cross over the left, just as if you were relaxing in a chair and you were seated. From here, you can either keep this right ankle as is, or you can think about drawing it towards the left calf, or maybe it wraps around the left calf as well. Relax the shoulders, open the heart, continue to keep a long spine here, and use the breath to bring all of your energy towards center. Take a deep breath and maybe stay here, or as you exhale, draw the elbows in the direction of the knees, but try not to collapse on top of yourself. Keep extending through the heart. Take a deep breath in, slowly draw the crown of the head back up to center. Extend the arms long. If the legs were crossed, gently uncross them. Take the hands to the legs, roll the shoulders up and back, and then bring them up and forward. And prepare for the next side. So once again, extend the arms long, feet are flat to the floor. This time, left elbow crosses over right. And again, just be mindful that the elbows don't drop towards your belly. Keep them in line with the heart. And then again, with the forearms, they can press together with backs of the palms towards one another, or maybe the wrists interlace, pressing palms together. And again, find space between the elbows and the belly. And then choose if you'd like to keep the feet as is, or left knee can cross over the right. And maybe the heels draw together, or you can wrap the foot around the ankle. It's your choice. Anything that works for you is great. And then lengthen the spine long. So think about bringing all of your energy towards center. Use the breath to extend, and then exhale. Perhaps elbows come towards the knees. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, open back up, extend the arms, relax the legs, hands come to the legs, roll the shoulders up and back, and then back and forward. And then from here, begin to slide the hands down the legs, reach them up towards the front wall, and find that you're almost extending, like you're gonna hug something in front of you or reach for something in front of you. But as you do that, feel the shoulder lengthening forward, but try not to dip all the way forward. Again, stabilize the hips, use energy from the soles of the feet to stabilize you, and reach the arms long. From here, we'll work with our abdominal muscles. So think about opening a giant magazine. So the right hand will come to grab that page, and then you'll peel open, kind of start reclining back, and then look over the right shoulder. Bring the belly button towards the spine, and then peel that book closed once again and take it to the left side. So again, find that giant magazine page. Begin to rotate back and open, and then slowly draw the arm back in. And then continue at the same pattern. Extending and opening, and inhaling to lift. Using the abdominals, and again, thinking about keeping the hips forward. And if you find that you'd like something just a little bit more challenging, you can choose to take this to the side of your chair, which allows you to extend back even longer. And then again, feel free to experiment with your pace. So if it feels better to go faster, do that. Or maybe you'd rather go slower. And just continue to use the breath. We'll take one more to each side. And then come back to sit up tall. Let the hands relax on the legs. And once again, just release the shoulders up and back, and then allow them to come up and forward. From here, feet come flat to the floor once again. Lengthen tall through the spine. From here, we'll do a little bit of a rotation with the abdominals. So the hands can either come to the back of the head, pressing elbows back, widening the collarbone, or if you would prefer, you can keep the hands by your shoulders. This might feel a little bit more supportive for the shoulders. From here, think about lifting tall and then bring your right elbow towards the front of the room as the left elbow comes back. Be mindful here in this position that you're not allowing this right knee to shoot past the left. Think about keeping both knees in line with one another. And then inhale to move back through center. Exhale to bring left elbow forward, right elbow back. And then continue in that same pattern. Keeping the spine long, almost as if you were wringing out a towel or something like that. Use the breath. Try and keep the spine long and the shoulders relaxed. Take one more to each side, lifting through center, rotating forward, and lifting and rotating. Find your way back through center. We'll just take a few traditional crunches here. So, well, maybe untraditional because we're in a chair, but from here, press the elbows back, lengthen the heart forward, keep space between the chin and the chest, and then from the belly button, bring the belly towards the back body and find yourself rounding and contracting, but squeeze the abdominals. Inhale to open, stretch the front of the body, gaze up towards the sky, and then exhale to crunch. And inhale to lift, and exhale. If you find that you're wanting just a little bit more, as you crunch, you can choose to take the left knee towards the chest and then plant it down as you lift. And just continue alternating the legs, going at your own pace. And then if you feel that that's still something you want more, you want to bring both knees up towards the chest. So your choice, go at your own pace. Think about keeping the chest open. We'll take 3 more. Here's 2. Last one. Plant the feet to the floor. Once again, open the chest to the sky, release the arms down, and take a moment just to roll the shoulders up and back to release any tension, and then bring the shoulders up and forward. From here, we'll come to standing. So come up any way you'd like, maybe starting by pressing the feet into the floor and slowly lifting the hips out of the chair, hovering for a moment if you prefer, and then coming all the way to a standing position. And then from here, widen your feet just a bit wider than your chair. You still want to find that you're evenly distributing the weight between both feet, but then lengthen the spine tall and relax your shoulders. Notice that the toes point forward and that you're evenly placed between both feet. Lengthen tall and then extend the arms out to the side. From here, find your right hand and begin to bend the left knee. So just find awareness in this right hand. As you bend the left knee, begin to rotate this arm forward and towards the left side. So you're crossing the body. And then inhale, draw through center, straighten the legs, extend the right arm out, take it to the left side. Bend the left knee, and as that happens, let the left arm cross the body. Maybe it touches the wall to that left side, and then extend through center. And continue in the same pattern, going at your own pace. And as you continue in this movement, allow the spine to remain long. Top of the head floats to the sky. And source energy from the soles of the feet. So think about pressing into the left knee to straighten. And then take one more to either side. And then come back up through center. From here, extend the arms up over the head. Press the palms together. Take the hands by your heart. From here, think about your feet. And then draw your heels in and your toes away. So there's a slight external rotation of the legs. Find that you're, again, evenly distributing the weight between the feet. Palms together at your heart. Lengthen through the spine. Imagine you're sliding up and down a wall. And begin to lower the tailbone to the floor as you bend the knees, coming into a wide squat. So just pause here in your squat, noticing that the knees are opening towards the pinky toe edge of your foot. You're trying to avoid letting the knees fall in towards one another. Really think about opening here. And then from this position, press the feet into the floor, straighten the legs, extend the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, bend, bring the thumbs in line with the heart. And continue in the same pattern of movement, thinking about lengthening, and then find the feet rooting through the floor as you bend. And again, follow your own breath pattern, slower or faster, totally your choice. Take about 3 more. 2 more. And last one. And then once again, straighten the legs. Palms are by the heart. And then begin to draw the arms all the way down. So keep the palms together. If you tend to hold tension in the shoulders and it's habitual, think about releasing that by extending the arms away from the body. Once again, we'll come into that bend, but this time the arms will be just about opposite. So root down through the feet, bend the knees, bring the thumbs to your heart, and then extend down. So think about engaging the biceps here as the elbows fold up towards the heart. Take 4 more, keeping the spine long. Go at your own pace, using the breath. 2 more. And last one. And then from here, let the arms relax and just allow them to be heavy. Allow them to shake out a little bit, release any tension that might have built up in the arms, and bring your hands together by your hips. The feet will draw forward. So find just a slight pivot in the feet. So now toes point forward. And then from this place, begin to once again shift the weight from right knee or right leg to left leg by bending into the knee, coming through center, and then taking it to the opposite side. And again, keep the upper body long, keep the chin towards the chest to lengthen the back of the neck, and take 1 more to each side. And then from here, once again, come back up through center. This next movement you can either choose to take in your chair or standing, and I'll show both options. So standing, your right leg, you're going to pivot it to face the right wall. So notice that you begin with the toes forward, lift your toes, rotate the foot to face the right side of the room. And you'll notice that your upper body comes a little bit with you. So there's kind of a rotation in the upper body. From here, experiment with how wide your legs are. So you might find that where your legs naturally were is a little bit too short, and that's okay. You can allow yourself to expand. So you have full awareness of that, of how wide you'd like your legs. From this position, make sure that this front foot, the heel, is in line with the center of the back foot. So you want to make sure that the foot isn't too far away from you towards the back wall, and it's not too far forward, but it's right directly in line with the arch of the foot of the back foot. Extend the arms wide, and then gently bend into the front knee, and find that the knee bends directly over the ankle, and extend the arms long for warrior 2. This is the standing option. But if you prefer to take it in the chair, find your chair behind you and just simply sit your hips into the chair, extending the leg long and finding that the right knee is directly over the toes. Extend the arms. Relax the shoulders. Find energy through the fingers, from the front fingers all the way through the back fingers. Belly button is towards your spine, so engage the core. Take 3 deep breaths. 1 more inhale, and then as you exhale, slowly begin to straighten the front leg to prepare for the other side. So if you're standing, allow the front foot to straighten, or the front leg to straighten, and then pivot the toes forward. Now left side, toes lift, and then draw towards the left wall. And again, find that little bit of rotation in the rib cage. Extend the arms, bend front knee over front ankle, and remain for about 3 full breaths. Finding energy from the soles of the feet up through the rest of the body. And if you've chosen to use your chair, the transition would include drawing the legs together, then bringing left leg to left wall, extending the right leg behind you. So the upper body still remains long, Crown of the head to the sky. Take one more deep breath in wherever you are, and then find your way back to center. So if you're seated, close the legs together and stand up. But if you're in the standing position, straighten the front leg and then pivot the toes to face front. Relax the arms down, roll your shoulders up and then back. Hands come together by the hips and slowly begin to pivot or heel toe the feet in towards one another to stand up tall once again. From here, we'll come over to the side of our chair. So adjust as you need, but we'll start standing on the right-hand side of the chair. Bring your right hand to the edge of your chair, and then from here, allow your left leg to be available for use. So with the left hand by the hip, begin to bring the left heel forward. So the heel is down by the floor, the toes lift up towards the sky. From here, find that your hips are level and begin to lift and lower the leg. The height that the leg lifts to is your choice. So if you would prefer to keep the leg lower, please do. But if you find that you would rather lift the leg higher, that's fine as well. And of course, you don't need the chair if you feel that you don't want it. You can always take the other hand by your hip, or to engage the shoulders a bit further, you can extend the arms up towards the sky. Allow the energy to press through your heel, really root down through the standing leg. Take 3 more here, and try not to send your pelvis forward. Think about lengthening through the upper body. Last one, bring the feet together, hands come back down by your hips or by the chair. Take this right leg and cross it behind you. So the leg will just simply draw behind the right leg. Hands by the hips. From this place, extend your left arm long, reach up to the sky, and then towards the right side of the room. So you're creating a C curve through the left side of the body. Take a deep breath in, slowly draw the crown of the head back to the sky, and then bring the foot back to where it was. Once again, standing in mountain pose Tadasana with all of the bones stacking. From here, transition to the other side of the chair. So this time the left hand will be by your chair. Hands come by the hips, and then find the other leg. So this time the right foot will extend forward and lengthen from the top of the hip down through the ankle. Press through the heel and then begin to lift and lower. And be mindful of the standing side of the body. Try not to sink into this hip, but think about lengthening through the whole upper body, and then choosing if you'd like to have your chair as support or bring the hand by the hip or up over the head. Continue to press through the heel. Use the breath. We'll go for about 4 more, lifting only as high as you would like to. 2 more. Last one. And then gently bring the foot back down by the floor, hands by the hips, and then take this right leg, cross it behind the left. Bring the ball of the foot towards the floor. The right arm comes up, sweeps the sky overhead, and lengthens all the way towards the left side of the room to find a C shape in the right side of the body, feeling the rib cage opening. Take 1 more deep breath, slowly come back up through center. Bring the foot back where it was. And then from here, we'll come to stand in front of the chair. So here, stand with the feet just slightly wider than hips width distance apart. Relax the shoulders, and then find the weight evenly distributed between your 2 feet. Hands can come by your hips, and again, bring the belly button to the spine to engage the abdominals. Weight is even between the feet, and then begin to bring your weight towards your heels. We'll come into a chair pose, using our chair as a little bit of a support here. So from this position, begin to bend your knees and send your hips back. Maybe coming as low to feel your hips onto the chair without relaxing. So you don't want to come to sit, but just come to tap the hips on the chair. Press the feet into the floor, stand all the way up, and just continue in that same pattern of movement. Thinking about keeping the spine long. Use the breath. And then engage the arms in any way you'd like. So maybe it feels good to keep them by your hips. If you'd prefer to keep them at about shoulder height, you can. Or if it feels better, maybe your chair has arms, You can use the arms of the chair to help support you, or maybe the sides of the chair. Your choice. We'll go for about 3 more. Use the breath. Here's 2. And straighten. Last one, we're gonna pause just an inch above the chair. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale to sit all the way down. Bringing the legs down to the floor with the knees stacking over the ankles. From here, we'll stretch our quadricep muscle. So find your body angling slightly towards the right side of your chair. The knees will point towards the upper right-hand corner of the room. As the knees draw to the right, use your left leg. So the left heel will draw towards, you might want to sit to the edge of the chair so the left hip kind of comes off of the chair. You'll begin to bring your left heel towards your left hip. So option A, stay here with the heel coming towards the hip, and then begin to drop the knee towards the floor. Option B, take your left hand to find your ankle, and then bring the knee down by the floor, or you can always grab your pant leg, or if you have a washcloth or something like that, you can wrap it around the ankle and use it as a support as well. From this place, we'll take 3 full breaths, keeping the left knee pointing towards the floor and lengthening the spine. 1 more inhale, and then as you exhale, very gently release the foot to the floor, and then switch to the other side. So now the knees come to the left corner of your chair. And again, adjust your hips so the right hip is kind of coming off of the chair. Sit up tall. And then option A, the right heel comes towards the hip, the knee points down towards the floor. Option B, grab a pant leg, or maybe use a washcloth or a towel to help bring the heel towards the lower back, or use the hand. Finding the ankle, and then drawing the heel towards the hip and dropping the knee to the floor. And again, remaining for 3 full breaths. On your next exhale, gently release back down towards the floor, bringing the knees back to center. And just like we started, we'll start with some movements of the spine. So let the feet widen just a little bit wider than the feet. Again, hands come to the tops of the thighs, fingers rotate inward. Lengthen the spine tall, use the hands as support, use the feet as support. Open the chest towards the sky, and with the flat back, draw the heart forward. Exhale to release head, neck, shoulders. Inhale to lift all the way up towards the sky. And take that 3 more times at your own pace. Let the next one be the last one. And then slowly draw the crown of the head back to the sky. Bring the legs together. Let the hands relax away from you, away from the legs. And then from here, begin to lift just the right shoulder by the ear, and then press the left shoulder away. And then slowly move your way back to center, take it to the other side. So now left shoulder comes by the earlobe, and then actively draw the right shoulder away. And then once again, move through center, once more to each side. And maybe finding a little bit of a C curve through the side body as well, if you want. And then last time, coming up through center, take the hands and bring them towards the back of your chair, if that is available to you. You can also interlace the fingers and have them by your lower back. And then begin to draw the shoulder blades together, opening the heart. Really firmly plant your feet to the floor. Lengthen the spine and lead with your heart, and just find a gentle drawing forward of the upper body, and use the stability of the back of your chair to lengthen the arms and open up the chest. Take 1 more deep breath here. Slowly come back up to center. Let your hands come by the legs. Take a big roll of your head. So starting with the earlobe towards the right shoulder, drop the chin to the chest, and then bring left earlobe to left shoulder. Slowly bring it all the way back and around to the extent that it feels comfortable, and then reverse the direction. So allow the head roll to come in the other way. Slowly take the head back to center, and then from here we'll come to a quick breathing exercise. So find yourself comfortable in your chair. The feet will be flat to the floor, and this breath can be done anywhere. The hands remain down flat by your lap or anywhere that feels comfortable. Sit up tall, but still find yourself comfortable and relaxed. And then from here, this is kind of an energetic breath. You'll be thinking, visualizing your body, your midsection, like a pitcher of water. So the breath will enter first through the nose. It will first fill up the bottom of the belly, like the bottom of a pitcher. And then the breath will expand through the rib cage, kind of like it's filling the center of a pitcher. And then finally up to the very top of the chest. You might pause if that feels good. And then as you exhale, you'll exhale all the air out from the top to the bottom. So similar to pouring a pitcher of water, you would empty that from the top all the way down to the bottom. So again, finding yourself comfortable, perhaps closing the eyes if that feels good. You'll begin your inhale. So beginning through the nose, allowing the breath to fill the bottom of the belly, allowing the breath to come up through the ribs, filling the top of the chest. And then when you're ready, exhaling fully from the top of the chest, through the ribs, and the bottom of the belly. And continuing in that same pattern. This is called Dirga Pranayama, the 3-part breath. So again, thinking about breathing in those 3 parts, first the bottom of the belly, and then the rib cage, and finally the chest. Find one more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, you can allow yourself to come to full relaxation. So perhaps you remain in your chair. If you'd like to come down onto your mat, maybe laying on your back, if that feels comfortable, that's fine too. Any position you'd like to be in to help you fully relax. So here, you don't have to control the breath any longer. You can allow your breath to come back to its natural pace, its natural state. And again, feel the space around the eyebrows, the forehead fully relaxing. And we'll stay here for about 2 to 3 minutes, but of course, if you'd like to stay longer, you're welcome to, as long as you would like. Gently begin to deepen your breath. And as you do that, bring awareness back into the body. So maybe once again, noticing where the feet meet the floor, noticing where your hips meet the chair. And then allow some gentle movement to come back to the body. So maybe finding you wiggle your fingers or your toes or maybe the shoulders. And then open the eyes, draw the palms together at your heart, and take a moment to reflect on your practice. So noticing how you feel, noticing the energy in the body, and then maybe thinking about how the energy has or has not changed since the beginning of your practice. And then take a moment to consider how you can continue to find this connection between the mind, the body, and the breath throughout the rest of your day. And always using a sense of compassion towards the self and compassion to others to help you deepen that connection. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you.